So today we are discussing investing in building the capacity of the basic education sector for a pandemic, since COVID-19 showed the level of unpreparedness of our basic education architecture. Investing in building the capacity of the basic education sector for a pandemic, since COVID-19 showed the level of unpreparedness of our basic education architecture. Now, Ambassador, I want to know, what are the effects of pandemic on child education?
All right, thank you so much once again. We all know the effects and the occurrence or the onset of COVID-19. It was something that no one expected. It came abruptly and came to disrupt. The effect has been very, very significant, especially on children in Africa. It has come to disrupt teaching and learning, the normal face-to-face learning, and forced administrators and teachers and parents to go online to teach and learn. So the effect has been very enormous. One, there were closure of schools. So most of the schools in Africa, just like any part of the world, they closed down, which disrupted the normal schooling system and education system. So kids have to resort online to learn. And it brought about losses in learning, where a lot of kids lost their period of learning, the timetable, reschedule, and all that. So, and it also brought about some dropout of kids. Many of our kids in Africa dropped out of school because of COVID. So these were many of the things that the effect that COVID brought to kids in Africa.
Okay, thank you so much. You've highlighted some of them. We also want to know how COVID-19 has impacted school administration, be it negatively and positively. How has that impacted school administration? I mean, you've spoken about how it's took teachers and children to online education. We want to know how that has impacted school administration to that effect. Yeah.
Well, from what I said, it also had an impact psychologically on parents and teachers and students as well, because they were cut off from the normal duties of going to school, and teachers were cut off from normal going to school to teach, and pupils were cut off from normal going to school to study. And on administrators who are supposed to make sure and ensure school smooth teaching and learning, and make sure kids are in school to learn and teachers are in school to teach. It brought a lot of issues and troubles to them. One, there were normal shifting from normal teaching to online learning. So most administrators were not prepared for this. So they have to spend a lot of budget into that, acquiring the resources to now have to move from normal class teaching to online teaching and learning. Then it changed the school operation timetables. Most schools have to separate their kids because of COVID and distancing. Some have to go in the morning, some have to go in the afternoon, some have to break for 2 weeks and all that. And it also brought a lot of financial challenges to most of the administrators. So many people were not prepared for the financial challenges and the budget that comes with it. And busing system that have to change. You don't have to load the kids anymore. You have to create a venue for spaces in the buses, in the classrooms, and in the playing grounds, and then increase administrative costs as well. So it was positive. It made most administrators to be up to date, to get back to the system, to make sure they have acquired enough knowledge and technology to support teaching and learning, so that there's no break in the normal teaching. So they have to just occupy that gap.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please. Okay, thank you. You're speaking about how the impact of COVID-19 on school administration has actually helped teachers go back to learn more about their knowledge on technology, and has also, in as much as it's helped them go back, it's introduced or exposed most of us to the world of technology. People using Zoom, Google Meet, other technological devices and platforms and apps to also provide teaching lessons to their students. And also, yes, of course, the negative impact of cost and all of that. students missing out and all of that. So thank you very much. We also want to know, how has education changed? How has education delivery changed after the COVID-19? How has it changed after COVID-19?
Yeah, basically, the pandemic has brought significant change to education worldwide. And one, it has increased the use of technology. It has brought about blended learning. It has brought about changes in teaching methods. Now, about the blended learning, most schools have to do the face-to-face and then the online. They have to do both the face-to-face and then switch back to online to make sure, even including universities, to make sure they can be able to reach out to kids in remote communities. And also, many teachers have to change their methods of teaching. So if you're teaching in a way that you have to face kids on face-to-face, you have to now change to prepare slides and get back online to teach and get the technology, get access to the resources that can enable you to teach. And then it's also emphasized on student well-being. You make sure you have an inclusive system of teaching where you consider disability and people who limited in learning as well, get it, and then access kids online and mark them online and then do your promotion and placement online and all that. So it has brought a lot of changes, just like I said, increased technology, blended learning, and then changing the teaching methods, as well as bringing flexibility into our educational system.
Okay, thank you very much. So from shifting teachers to online learning, using apps, using video apps, using Google Meets, distance learning, introducing distance learning, bringing about all these new changes. Ambassador Henry, as an education specialist, we want to know, but before that, viewers, I'd encourage you to like, share, comment, contribute to this discussion. We really appreciate that. We have Ambassador Henry Osabutey here. This is the Glory Ifezwe Foundation series on education challenges. Glory Ifezwe Foundation is a nutheric foundation that contributes to children and women's development, mostly in education, women rights, and human rights. And we are honored to have Ambassador Henry Osabutey, who is the founder of the Henry Osabutey Educational Foundation. And he has also gained a lot of international recognition to the extent that he has been given a goodwill title ambassador because of his good works. So to continue, Ambassador, we want to know that as an education specialist, what do you think are the policies that we need to implement to improve the quality of education we deliver in our society?
Honestly, COVID-19 has brought about so many changes in our system. And it has come to remind us that anything can happen at any time. And administrators and managers of educational institutions, ministers and education directors must be proactive. They must be up to date with teaching and learning. They must shift the normal teaching, classroom teaching, to a more flexible one. They must invest so much into technology and the resources that can help us reach out to do all those things. They must make proper preparation. There must be preparation towards emergencies like COVID-19. Nobody knows when the next COVID-19 or the next disaster is coming up. So there must be policies of technology, high involvement of technology in our teaching and learning process. Teachers must be up to date with the technologies. They must have access to these technologies and make sure parents and kids are also having access to this technology as well. For me, I think innovation is the way forward. Education managers and administrators must be very innovative to always make sure there's continuity in teaching and learning. There must not be any way that there will be a cut or an abrupt disruption in our educational system again. because COVID has brought about the loopholes and the gaps in our system, and there must be heavy investment in innovation and in that space. And then in our economic factors, I think that the pandemic has also led to financial losses. So there must be heavy investment into education, as I said earlier, so that at least when such things happen, we can be able to bridge a gap. Then there must be the need for accessibility. Every child must have access to education. Every teacher must be trained to make sure to provide this asset. They must be trained to bridge the gap of making sure there's continuity in our educational system.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Thank you so much for your time. Basically, it's all about focusing on our education system, investing in our education system. We should hold our education system high because this is what brings the leaders of tomorrow up. These are the kinds of activities or policies that we need to actually raise and grow our generation. Thank you so much for your submission. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Viewers, thank you so much for watching. Kindly comment, share, like, share with your friends, share with everybody. Leave your comments in the comment section. And yes, we will tag you and get back to you with our responses. You can also follow Ambassador Henry Osabutey on LinkedIn, Facebook at Ambassador Henry Osabutey. You can follow his organization, Henry Osabutey Education Foundation, on LinkedIn and on Facebook. You can also follow Glory Ifezue Foundation on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on LinkedIn at Glory Ifezue Foundation. Thank you so much once again. We thank our partners, Rang Digital Marketing Consultancy, Henry Osabutey Education Foundation, Timothy Watch Education Foundation, Girls Education Mission, and then El Passion Foundation, and then our host organization, Glory Ifezue Foundation. Thank you so much for organizing this. Thank you so much, Ambassador Henry, for your time. I have been your host. My name is Janet Owusu-Darko. You can follow me on LinkedIn at Janet Owusu-Darko. Thank you so much for your time. And until next time, it is a goodbye. Let's stay blessed.